Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Sneaky Snake, and today I'm going to be going over the military orders changes. I am so happy, so excited. Thank you so much, CB, for making these changes. Really helped. It's helping to bring the faction, back into the forefront and giving it like a lot of life. I had suggested a lot of changes, and they made some of them, and other ones they also made, but they weren't stuff that I suggested. But some of the changes that they made were really smart. So, big fan. I guess let's just get into it. So, up first here, we've got the Crociers. There were a couple things that changed about these guys. So, the multi-sniper now has a mine layer on its with an EM, which is like goated, and it's only one SWIC. So that's also really nice. They gave the Spitfire an X visor. Not an amazing change in my opinion. The Blitzen went down in by 1 point, which is a really good change. It's not like a huge deal, but 1 point here and there can get you like a work or whatever. And then this is one of the biggest changes actually. The Crocier multi-spectralizer level 2 HMG is massive. That adds like a lot of MSV capability, and sure, he's only BS12, but it's really good. It's like a super cheap platform that you're basically just paying for MSV2 in an HMG. Honestly, really worthwhile profile. And like we'll go over the fire team charts and stuff, and I'll kind of explain like why this is even better. But Konstantinos, he lost his AP and gained a boarding pistol, and his his MSV2 went down to MSV1. He gained CC attack -3. Overall, kind of a net loss for Konstantinos. I can't remember if he went down in price. Either way, I wasn't really taking him before, and now, I mean, honestly, the assault pistol was really nice on him, and like losing that is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Not really much to say about him. Just kind of, stinks, but whatever. Okay, so the curator, nothing really changed about the curator. That's fine. The curator is an engineer that is overpriced, and that's what she's going to be forever, so no problem here. For the order sergeants, the only change is that they added a neurocynetics HRL for the escort sergeant. That's kind of awesome, honestly. So just like some initial thoughts. So this is a good profile because it's like you basically have like a continuous like heavy flamethrower mine layer in the form of the Oxbot. And so you can really protect like your DZ with this guy. And then the HRL being, it's burst 2 up to 32 inches, so that's cool. But here's the real kicker. The assault pistol is also going to be burst 4 on reactive. So honestly, like you could use this guy as like a close range kind of defensive piece. I don't know. It's kind of spicy. I guess like the question is like, is this guy better than a TR bot because he's almost the same amount? I don't know. One more BS, half the burst, but a scarier weapon, maybe. Just depends. But that I think that was a really cool change. Raven Eyes, nothing changed here. They're still excellent. Sacha, Tech B, Warcore, nothing changed for these guys. Crusader Bros, they had no changes, so they're the same. Infirmers are now 6'2", which is cool. I don't really know if that changes a whole lot. But regardless, I mean, they're still good, and they cost 17, 20 points. So they got boarding pistols, that's right. I think infirmers are honestly kind of slept on. They're a little bit like hard to put in lists at times, but I think they're actually really solid. So good piece if you have the points to afford one. Here's one of the biggest changes that they made that it just totally changes the dynamic of the faction. So, Knight Commander went down by a lot. I want to say by 4 points across the board. His +1 LT order doesn't cost 0.5 SWIC anymore, thank goodness. And one of the most important changes is there's now a Knight Commander Chain of Command option, which is huge because it means that you can take your active lieutenants like Joan, especially Joan, but like also like the Knight of Santiago. Um, and you can take a lot of these guys and get a lot of value out of like whatever their lieutenant is, like what their lieutenant order is providing. So yeah, I'm really stoked about this change. It's so good. And then they also increased his CC to 20, which okay, that's fine. I can't remember if he had a BS type +1 burst, but he has that now too. So cool. Oh, I guess they changed his loadout. I think he used to be light shotgun with a combi rifle, and now he's just boarding shotgun or light shotgun. But anyway, moving on. So the Black Friars, they got sort of a change about a week ago. Yeah, their albedo went up to -6, which it's a small change, but it's really nice. Gives them a lot more utility against like other MSV pieces. So yeah, we'll take that. All right, so now into the big boys. So Knight Holy Sepulchre got MSV 1 on its multi marksman rifle, and he's now 6'2". Oh, so good. Okay, so the one of the reasons I really like this change is because so beforehand you only took the NCO one because the problem with the chain of command one was that he was giving you chain of command, but he was super expensive and it just didn't really feel like he was doing a lot for you. But now that he has MSV1, he's actually providing a lot more value to the faction because like he's a tanky MSV piece. And he's 6'2" now, so he can just run like all the way to your opponent's deployment zone and just smack people. Yeah, honestly, excellent changes here. Yeah, not really much else to say. I mean, the NCO Knight of Holy Sepulchre is also better because the Knight Commander went down in cost too, so that helps the Knight of Holy Sepulchre a lot. Next change, this is a change I suggested, and I'm really glad that it got put in. So DeFerson got a multi-rifle profile, and the reason why I think this is really big is because if you take the Spitfire, you're having to pay like for a well, specifically for the SWIC, you're having to pay the SWIC price of a Spitfire, but like you don't always want that. Like there are times where you might want another like fire team point to be like some other gun, and you don't want it to be the Spitfire, but like it used to be like you'd have to pay for the Spitfire anyway, but now the multi-rifle gives you a lot more flexibility. They also gave Trinity +1 SD, so like hell yeah. Like I don't know, like that's awesome. Yeah, DeFerson is amazing now. Like he is genuinely a like certified Uber hacker, and he just adds so much value to the faction now. And he also got like buffed by a lot of other faction or by a lot of other units also getting buffed. So yeah, great change. Knight Hospitallers, some pretty big changes here. I'm gonna take a sip really quick. Yeah, there's a lot that went on. So their multi-rifles all went up to PS6, which is great. Cool. Love to see it. And then they got a 10-bot option, finally. Thank goodness. Yeah, it's so awesome. I'm so happy that they finally have a 10-bot. One thing that actually is really good is they got a boarding shotgun emitter profile. And this is actually a really good like ARO piece for two reasons. So the first is that it's an emitter, so isolate, immobilize, all that jazz, pretty great stuff. But because it's an emitter and it's non-lethal, if you hit somebody with the emitter, it actually doesn't trigger your frenzy, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I think that's a really cool change, and I really like the profile. Um, yeah, there's not much else that changed about them, but honestly, those two additions makes like Hospitallers a lot more interesting. So Joan, don't, yeah, okay. So Joan, she now has chain of command on all of her non-lieutenant options, with no specialist, which is fine. Um, yeah, um, okay. I mean, it didn't cost anything, so I don't really care that much. But like, it's cool. I don't know. I'm more stoked about the fact that we now have like good chain of command in MO. So like her lieutenant profile is actually way better. But yeah, Joan's amazing, and she's gotten even better now. So yay. Kyle Hawkins, yes. Oh, I was so happy. So Kyle Hawkins is now faster with 6-2 move. He has beast attack -3. Heck yeah. He did lose one armor, and he lost Berserk, which is like whatever. Um, I think that's basically it. He now has a second profile with the beast attack +1 burst on the boarding shotgun and flash pulse. Cool. Yeah, good change. I'm really happy about the multi marksman rifle because it gives you a really good gunfighter for a pretty cheap price point, and yeah, um, I really appreciate what they did to Kyle because he's actually like a really interesting competitive like option in the faction now. So Knight of Justice is up next. Okay, so two big changes here. The first one is they added a multi marksman rifle PS6 to the hacker and to the forward observer. Um, the forward observer, okay, uh, enough said. And then the hacker. So the hacker is actually it's huge. Okay, so the multi marksman allows the hacker to be a point man, kind of in a way that like the Furson used to be, except the fact that he isn't paying the Swick for like that for the Spitfire. So yeah, honestly, really interesting. He also has a pitcher, so basically you push up with the Knight of Justice with his multi marksman rifle, and then you're able to pitch in positions. And he's just a really good hacker, being BTS 9, ARM 5, Whip 13, all that jazz. Um, so yeah, super super excited about the hacking profile. And then the other amazing profile change was the missile launcher, which is now +1 SD, which is crazy because the Knight of Justice now has better link options, and he is a burst 3 missile launcher, which is just like what? Just absolutely crazy. And then burst 3 and reactive 2, like it just doesn't get much better than that. So yeah, yeah, people are gonna really need to respect and take smoke against the Knight of Justice. So super happy about this change. Knights of Montesa. So these guys also got changed recently. They're honestly really really solid. Um, the only question I have is why do they have better link options and more availability in Shock Army and Varuna? I think there's a lore reason for that, but um, I don't know. They're knights, they're an MO. But anyway, all of that aside, they are linkable. They're wild cards, and the paramedic is 20 points for like a burst 3 shotgun and like a blitzen you can use on reactive. Like this is a really nice piece. So yeah, super like happy and excited about this guy. Um, and then the motorized Montesas. These guys have been good. They're even better now because MO has a better way to clear like repeaters and hackers. So really really happy about this one. Up next is Mendoza. So Mendoza got some really interesting changes. His forward deployment profiles now come with decoy, which is good, but I don't really know if it's enough. Like maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Not really sure. But regardless, there's a much more interesting profile, and that is the 40-point FTO option. So this profile is so sick. So it's all of your Mendoza goodness with the multi rifle, but you are also providing your team with a tin bot, a heavy flamethrower, basically in the form of a boarding pistol. You're like this is the perfect profile because it's really really good at killing stuff, and also it's giving you a tin bot, so it's giving you like that utility, and it's kind of filling that role for you. Like, man, yeah, I love this profile so much. I'm so happy that they added it. um, yeah, what can I even say? It's so good. So Knights of Santiago, they got 6-2 move, so yeah, good for them. Happy to see that change. And now let's see here, the lieutenant, or you can take the killer hacker as a lieutenant. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, and then they also got boarding pistols instead of nano pulsers. I'd say it's probably like an even trade. Um, Personally, I think I'd prefer like a nanopulsar, but it's not really that big of a change, so I'm not gonna like whinge about it. But yeah, being able to move faster is really nice. And the Lieutenant Spitty is even better now because you have good chain of command. And yeah, what else can I say? It's so great. All right, to Tonic Knights. So two big changes here. The Spitfire got an X visor. Um, okay, and then here, this is probably the more important one, but like the missile launcher got BS attack -3. So MO has a lot of really nice like reactive options now, and I had suggested that they add like BS attack -3 or mimetism to the missile launcher, because if he's impetuous and he's not getting any cover bonus, or well, sorry, limited cover bonus, like he just doesn't do anything for you. But now having the missile launcher, yeah, he does do a lot, and he's like a lot better. So I'm really really happy about that change. No changes to the crux. Right, no changes to the crux. Yeah, nothing. Seraph had no changes. Yeah, it's all the same. No, nothing here. Cool. And then our last two are skirmishes. So Dart, I don't even know why they buffed Dart, but they did. So I'm not gonna complain. But so Dart now has a decoy, which like okay, awesome. Um, she has a mine layer profile, which also is great, and viral tac bow +1 SD. Like, what? I mean, that kind of makes her like a really good reactive piece in the midfield, I guess. I don't know. It's really weird, but I'm here for it. Yeah, it's really really good change though. Like she can just run around and just smack people in the butt with her viral tac bow. So pretty cool. Um, and then finally Trinitarians. They only had one profile added, and it's a deployable repeater mine layer. Um, yeah, that's awesome. Like, super happy. Um, there's one problem, and it's the fact that it costs one SWIC, which is kind of a lot. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's a really cool option, so I'm really happy. And, like, MO is actually a pretty cracked hacking faction now. And we'll get into that. So, yeah. All right, so let's go to the fire teams now. So the Cuirassiers, they are a part of the Military Orders fire team. They can core, Harris, and duo, and the duo is a really, really big deal here because you can make some pretty sick fire teams out of these guys. So yeah, really happy to see the duo option. You can build it off of Cuirassier, Teutonic, or Knight of Santiago. So one of the things I love about this is, so there used to be this like Harris team that I'd always want to take, but you never could, because none of them could form Harris teams. But now Knights of Santiago can form Harris teams, and that Harris team is a KHD Knight of Santiago with DeFerson, who you can just take as the multi rifle, and then a Knight of Justice with the multi marksman rifle. So this link, 118 points, pretty expensive, but it comes with 3 hackers, 10 bot, and like basically a Spitfire with pictures. And like, oh my gosh, it can do so many classifieds. Like, yeah, literally the coolest Harris team of all time, and it's yeah, I'm so excited. I already built a list with it because I'm just so stoked about it. But yeah, really really cool Harris team, and you can now do that because Santiago's can form fire teams. But yeah, so you can still duo your Santiagos. Knight Commander can link in. This is all like basic stuff that was already in the game, but like, Knight Commander and Order Sergeant count. Yeah, and then like you can slot in Black Friar Infirmer Curator. So it's all like pretty normal stuff. The only changes really in the wild card section are like the fact that these guys count as Hospitallers, which is really great. I'm happy they added that because I was kind of mad that they weren't Hospitallers, TBH. By the way, for those of you who don't know, a Knight of Justice is literally just like a higher rank within the Hospitaller like military order. So I was very confused why they didn't count, but anyway, it's all changed now, so we're good. Yeah, the Knight of Montesa FTO he's a nice like wild card option. I haven't dabbled with him too much, so I'd have to kind of like see where maybe he can slot in. Not really sure, but I'll continue to look around and stuff. Crux is FTO. I think everything else. Oh, and then Mendoza is also a wild card too. So yeah, a lot of like flexibility there as well. So as far as the Order Sergeant teams go, like yeah, Knights of Santiago can go with them. I never really did that anyway, but that's interesting. And all that's the same as well. Okay, and then the Crusade fire team. So these are some big ones. So Joan's Hospitaller and whatnot. They can duo, and the biggest one is probably the fact that these guys now count as Hospitaller Knights. So you can actually build. Let's see here. So you can build a list with like a multi-marksman rifle, a missile launcher, and then you could take like Joan, Joan V2. Just probably take like the normal one. Actually, do you even want? Yeah, I mean the missile launcher is so cool. So cool. Why not? Yeah, so you take like Joan, and then you take 2 Hospitallers. You can take your Tinbot. Let's go. Oh, actually, I think the first one is probably better here. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, this guy, and then where's DeFurry? Yeah, let's go. Dude, just look at this. Like, absolute beauty right here. It's only 190 points. So just ignore that part. But this is a pure Link team. Yeah. Do you really care about pure 5-man fire teams anymore? No, not really. But you can do it, so like hell yeah. You will for sure be seeing me play this Link in an upcoming video. So just letting you know. Yeah. Anyway, what are the last ones? The Velox teams. These are kind of useless, not gonna lie. Yeah, because like none of these guys really have counts as with any of the wild cards. So yeah, but that's basically like all of the new stuff gone over. So yeah, now it's tier list in time. So this is the tier list I built. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of really there was a lot of movement in the tier list from the last time I made this. Yeah, I don't even remember who went where, but anyway, so starting off with the Knight of Justice, I honestly think the Knight of Justice might be the best unit in the faction now. purely because of his multi marksman rifle picture profile. Um, like this unit has so much utility. It's like absolutely insane how much utility this guy has. Because he's a gunfighter. Albeit he's pretty cheap. Like, or he's pretty budget in terms of like being a gunfighter, but like he's gonna be burst four on active duty, and he is AP with PS4, and like I don't know. There's a lot of good things about this profile that really like add a lot, and it's the same thing with the missile launcher. Like +1 SD on a linkable missile launcher is pretty nuts because it means that you're burst 3 in active and reactive. And like you can just use this guy as like an AP puncher to just blow people up. And I can guarantee you like 90% of the tags in the game are not going to fight a Knight of Justice who's burst 3 on arrow with a missile launcher. Like it's just not happening. Um, this is kind of a link. This is like a link team option where you either smoke it or you die. So yeah, super happy about this change. Um, yeah, so Knights of Santiago, they're still amazing. I have them really high up because they have so much like link ability, and their tool, the amount of tools they add to the faction is just massive. And being 6'2" now is just even better because they can like move all over the place. Yeah, they didn't really have much changes to their kit. Um, yeah, the only thing I kind of wish was like do wish that they were BTS 6, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. They're still like providing tin bots and being killer hackers and stuff, so pretty happy about that. The Crux is just amazing as always. Like, I mean, he's never not going to be amazing. Mm, he's great on reactive. He's great on active. He wild cards really well. He's a specialist. Like, he just has it all. So, really like that profile. The Knight Commander went from like a C tier to to an S tier because he's just so, yeah, like the changes that they made with him are just so good. Like 4 points cheaper is a huge deal, and then also providing chain of command to a faction with a lot of like really good lieutenant options. It's super nice. Yeah, Deferson, he's just the apex like hacker now. Like he is just the best. And yeah, I mean, I just can't say enough. Like he's just so good now. So I'm super happy about his changes. And he's definitely like an S tier guy. The reason I put Kyle up in the S tier is because I think like they actually finally managed to give him a really unique role, which is cheap gunfighter who is providing like a negative mod, and he's fast and he's a wild card. So like Kyle, he just, yeah, like I mean honestly, you could totally just take Kyle with like two Teutonics or something. Um, Specialist one. Yeah. So like just look how cheap this is. I mean 70 points for BS attack -3 marksman rifle. And like okay, yes, like the marksman rifle is not the best gun in the game, but it's pretty good. And it just is really cheap, and you don't spend any SWIC on it, and that is the link that you can use. So I think the only issue he might have is like he does compete with the Knight of Santiago, Spitty, who is 33 points. So for 1 point more, you're getting like one more burst. But honestly, it's just completely different. I think this is kind of where they succeeded. Giving him BS attack -3 helps to make him be like very different from a lot of the other like Spitfires in the faction. So I'm super happy about that change. So that's why he's an S tier. He fills like a really niche role. Joan is S tier because she was already amazing. Now her non-lieutenant options have chain of command, and yeah, Sacha is in MO for a little bit. So like being able to take that 3 point irregular and convert it to a regular, while also having the ability to have chain of command is just excellent. So super, super great. Um, Trinitarians are amazing. They're even better now because they got really, really good profiles in the form of the deployable repeaters. Um, I think most games I'm still going to be taking a sniper, but it's now probably going to be like a sniper and then deployable repeater kind of thing. And yeah, I'm just really happy to like have that extra option. Dart is amazing. She was really good after her like recent buff where she got specialist. But now she's even better because she has like a burst to reactive weapon and yeah, just man, Dart's amazing now. I really can't say more about it because she's just so good. Um, the Seraph is an S tier tag. Um, Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, no, it's yeah, I'd probably put him like here. Now that I'm thinking about it. Um, anyway, the Seraph is an S tier tag because he just can like jump all over the place, shoot people with his multi HMG, or with his spitty. But honestly, I think the HMG is the better one just because you can kind of like shoot from wherever and get people out of bad range bands and whatnot. So yeah, but regardless, yeah, I think now that the faction is able to be a lot cheaper just because of various things enabled by the changes, I think the Seraph is going to be a lot better. And then finally, Crociers. It's so nice. Like Crociers are actually really good line infantry now. There's a couple things that like I wish they had, but it's totally fun that they don't. But like the sniper being a mine layer is really great because it's one swick. He's 19 points, but you're just dropping a mine straight off the bat, which means that like you're already adding to your defense without even having to like spend an order. So yeah, really, really great change there. Um, okay, so the tick is like an A tier tag probably. I put him there just because he's a cheap tag, or relatively cheap tag, but he's giving you like a mimetic HMG. So yeah, but he just doesn't have AP, which kind of makes him lack a lot. And they didn't add the lieutenant, right? Yeah, yeah. Like he doesn't have the +1 order lieutenant, so kind of a bummer. But it's fine. I'm so happy that I can't dunk on my faction right now. But anyway, he's still a really good tag, so definitely like A tier. Um, yeah, these guys are great. The Black Friars just add a lot. They're like kind of your MSV2 tech pieces, and I think they fill that role really well. So there's not like a lot to say about them, just the fact that they're good gunfighters. So Mendoza is really great now. He's not S tier only because um, he is really expensive, and he's not a specialist. But maybe he is S tier. Actually, I think he is like an S tier guy because, like, kind of how I was talking about earlier, um, like this is the perfect profile because he's a really scary like gunfighter, but he's also giving you a tin bot, so he's kind of fulfilling two fire team roles at once. Um, so yeah, dang, yeah, Mendoza is great. I take it back. He's definitely like an S tier unit now, just because of like how much he's providing whatever fire team he slots into. Um, yeah, so amazing profile. Hospitality Knights they're just A tier heavy infantry now. They can protect themselves in CC. They have really good armor in BTS, and now they have really interesting like options because they can give you a tin bot. They can provide you with an emitter to use on reactive. So yeah, just great, great overall. The Knight of the Holy Sepulchre also got bumped up to A tier because he's 6-2 move now, so he can actually move across the map, and he's not just like a sitting duck. And the MSV1 multi marksman rifle question mark. Yeah, with the +1 burst, SR -1. It's just it's like I mean it's literally just an AP Spitfire with MSV1 and surprise attack, and that's pretty cool. And he can run all over the place because he's got 6-2 move now. Obviously, he's not a specialist anymore, but who cares? I don't. You have a faction with Trinitarians. Like, why do you care if your Sepulcher is a specialist or not? Tech Bs are A tier because they support your tags well and they're cheap. Enough said. Fugazis are also A tier because you take them, and Warcore is same thing. So on to B tier. So the Teutonic Knights, I think they're really good HI who can slot well into like link teams and whatnot. The problem is that their gunfighter roles are just kind of ass. Yeah, like the only serviceable one now is the missile launcher, which is really great, and I'm super happy that they changed the missile launcher because he really needed that. But yeah, like the Spitfire with the X visor, just not really doing it for me. It doesn't really function. Like an X visor on a Spitfire is only really good if you're like Joan and you have BS-15. So I don't know. Yeah, a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but it's okay. They're still great though because they like provide really cheap tin bot access. They're just they're CC bonkers, so why not? And they've got like specials, so there's plenty to like about them. Yeah, I put the Foot Montesa before the other one. I kind of talked about it already, but the Foot Montesa is just excellent. He just walks around and heals people. So, yeah. And then the motorized one is also great too, just for a different reason. He's like a really good attack piece. MO doesn't necessarily really struggle with attack pieces, and they won't now, because yeah, a lot of the changes that were made kind of really enable them to lean into attacking with their heavy infantry and stuff. So super pumped about that. What else? Oh yeah, the Crusader Bros, they're great. They didn't really get any changes, but they're just like solid drop troops. I mean, there's not like a lot to say about them. And it's kind of the same thing with the Infirmer. Like the Infirmer is just a good doctor. I really like that the Infirmer has like cheap CC because like look, she's not going to be killing people who are good at CC obviously, but if she just comes across like a Fusilier or some like CC 14 combined army dude, like she can just beat him up and she'll win that face to face. So yeah, just good to have that option. Order sergeants, I didn't really know if they're still B tier. They might be better. I need to test out the Neurocynetics HRL to see if it's any good, because it's just really interesting. I don't know if it's good, but it's really interesting. So could be good, could be mid. Who knows? Raven Eye's great. Mind Layer, EM, yeah. And then like the baggage bot is honestly B tier now, even though she's got the fat base. Now that you have pitchers, having the ability to like refill those is really important. And then also like the Blitzens, those can get unloaded pretty easily on the Grossiers, so being able to reload those is also nice. Boltiers are great. They have good link options. Yeah. Pathfinders are good. They're just able to press buttons for you. And then like the Clipper is no longer useless. It actually has a place because we have pitchers now and we have deployable they're deployable repeaters. So yeah, the Clipper is kind of like it's somebody that you're gonna take every once in a while, but yeah. And then on to C tier. The Curator is C tier, not because it's like bad. Well, it's just because it's a Whip 12 engineer for 17 points. Like, yeah, it's just expensive, but you kind of have to take it. So this is a C tier option that you're gonna be taking anyway because it's an engineer. Yeah, and then Konstantinos. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the removal of his assault pistol and the downgrading of his MSV kind of hurt him. So I just don't think he's really that good anymore. Peacemakers have big bases and they're hard to hide. They can be good, but they're usually not. So, yeah, enough said. Um, and then the Sierra. Now that MO has really good ARO options, you don't really need the Sierra anymore. It's okay. Like, you can take it if you want, but yeah. And then finally, our only one in D tier, which stands for Do Not Take Deer, is Joan V1. Because it's kind of useless. Like, I like genuinely have no idea when I would ever take this profile, because it just offers nothing to the faction. So yeah, but that just about wraps it up. That's basically everything that I had to say. I'll just show you two lists really quick that I built. The first one here is a Seraph list. You've got the Seraph, and then a Harris team with the Knight of Santiago, Spitty, Specialist, Operative, Teutonic, and then, Tinbot. Teutonic with the missile launcher because he's a good ARO piece now. Crosier, Paramedic, 2 Blitzen Crosiers, and then a Knight Commander with +1 order. And then Tech B, Trinitarian, Forward Observer, Trinitarian, Fugazi, Warcore. Yeah. I don't really know how I play this list, but it's nice that, like, these guys can do stuff. I might have to rethink how I build this list, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, that's like a preemptive Seraph list that you could take if you want. And then the other one is like just an MO hacking list. This is the Harris team I was talking about earlier, where you've got like the Knight of Justice with his hacking device, and then DeFerson as your lieutenant, and Knight of Santiago, FTO. Why am I taking DeFerson as lieutenant? I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. I guess it's just like better to have 2 lieutenants than one kind of vibe. It is cheaper though. Huh. Anyway, sorry, I'm not used to like building lists with these guys yet. But yeah, anyway, cool little Harris team here. Like 3 hacking devices all in one link, and varying degrees of BTS. So yeah. And then I've got a Crosier Mine Layer with the Paramedic, and then the Knight Commander. Yeah, this guy is just like a decent arrow. Not much to say about it. But he can just stand up and shoot people, and then he also mine lays and EM mine, so that's cool. And then you're taking 2 Trinitarians, both with the deployable repeater, just to really add to your hacking projection. This means that your opponent literally cannot walk across the halfway mark without taking a hack to the face. So unless they have stealth, of course. But yeah, like having that ability is super cool. He probably needs to be here. And then wait. No way. I just realized that the Order Sergeant has a picture. Yo, what the heck? Wow, there's your live reaction for you. That's awesome. I did not even realize that. Did I make this duo? Like, I feel like I did that unintentionally. Am I smoking crack? I have no idea. Anyway, well, here's a duo with an Order Sergeant, and he has a picture. So that's pretty awesome. Yay. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, and then we've got a Trinitarian, and so there's the other deployable repeater, Tech B, Clipper for guiding people, and then Flash Pulse, and finally a Mulebot to refill. Now 2 pitchers. So, wow, that's so crazy. I didn't even realize that. My mind is blown. Anyway, that's all I had to say. These are the 2 really cool lists. I'll post them in the description so you can, steal them from me if you want. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this rambling 44 minutes, whoop-de-doo. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and if you like it and comment. So, all right, see you later. Bye.